We'll leave that one alone.
Okay.
Fudge.
Go back and
Fudge.
we'll revisit that.
Yeah, we'll put a post-it on that. Come back to it later.
Yeah, but yeah, so I met you in there, and then I like, okay, I like this guy, and then I don't know, we probably not messed around like that, because you were in
doesn't make my story sound any better.
Yeah, you were in room 218.
I was in 218. I was next to the 217 while it was getting made. I heard all the topics, the conversations, the wonderful tales. There goes my phone. Sorry. Cool stuff was going on in there. I could only hear through the walls, but it was cool to be next to the legacy of 217 itself when it was created.
Yeah, and then 218 is kind of weird because while you were in there, it became known as the room that housed the boys.
Yeah, that
not
happens.
with a Z, but with an S.
Yeah, that happens.
Like a real S.
It
like
happens.
That sound.
Well,
like
there's all walks of life in this world, and sometimes they put you in a room with a couple of guys that
like sex. Like it's just like
sometimes it happens.
So they were like, "Whoa, that's the room." So it happens,
But
we heard that stuff through the walls. By the way,
it was me jumping.
Was like, what in the hell?
I'm a grown man who likes to jump on beds. That's what the story is, and that's the true story.
What about the other two guys?
I didn't participate in any of their shenanigans.
Okay, I mean, there's nothing wrong if you did.
No,
I mean,
there's nothing wrong with what they did. I wasn't there for it. They put a sock on the door. So, life on life's terms. Life on life's terms. That's
acceptance. It seems like you were doing well with that at that point.
I worked. That was my first step into acceptance. That's how I was able to tolerate a lot of things, and I did well with that. I did well with tolerating things. But, two awesome guys that are, one's a friend of mine that I just spoke to not too long ago via the binging on the phone.
Nice.
But, yeah, so it's cool. You meet all types of walks of lives in this thing that we call recovery. Some roads a little rockier than others, how we got there, but it's it is what it is.
Yeah, and your road too, because we left and we made a movie. We made a film together, a feature film,
a bus ride film.
Yeah, what was it called? The Big Hard Yellow Bus, or what do we call it?
I don't remember what she put it, but we had the segment Border Bad Ideas. I did a hula hoop with the outer shell of a semi-tire, and it left a bruise on my knee. We started a conversation about a president, a potential president who is a president. We got called bozos. Yeah. We picked up a dog with a blind man who missed a bus, obviously, in Traverse City.
Couldn't see what time it was.
Well, he couldn't catch the bus either. He didn't see it. That
it was
happened.
all kinds of trouble.
But yeah, we started some shenanigans, but it was a good bus ride. I had I don't want to say accountability buddy because that name brings a bad term. But not everybody with the name Billy is bad either. But I don't know how we're supposed to do this. This is my first radio show ever, so thank you. I haven't swore once, which is good.
Yeah, it's good. It was nice.
Keep the ratings going.
Yeah, because we had talked about it and you hosting a show, which we still are going to go forward with.
Works. We're going to try.
And you said you wanted to call it Bull Beep Ain't Nothing. And, we cuss on here from time to time, and it's not the end of the world, but we don't want to be known as the guys that are on here just dropping F-bombs because we can.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I think that's just something that we should probably do. And I started thinking about, like Ryan and I and Anna and all, we want to do speaking events, and there's all kinds of stuff that we want to do. If it was your job, to go around speaking at schools, that'd be a pretty cool little job.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you get in front of people and you're like, "Yeah, my podcast
is Bolton Ain't Nothing show."
I mean,
so kids get it. Kids swear nowadays. My kids swear. My kids tell me to off. But they're also 17 and 13. They're not, elementary age.
Right.
But
one day, I mean, when you get all this money and fame that Ryan and I have now, then
I want to get a new moped.
Yeah, then you could probably start your 218 podcast, and you can call it whatever you want, man. That's when you can do your own thing. But for right now, I think it's probably best that we just either call it BS Ain't Nothing or I don't know. We'll figure it out, but I definitely want you a part of this and wanted you a part of this for a long time. Like even on that bus ride home, I believe I told you, hey, man, I'm doing this stuff.
Absolutely.
I think you looked at me like everybody else, like, yeah, okay, man.
The crazy part about that is my road to this has brought me back to this town 3 times since. I was telling people earlier that I've been in 5 rehabs this year, and we're coming up on December, so I spent a whole year in rehab, minus a few months here and there with relapses. So it just tells you that it doesn't get any easier when you leave. You just got to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. Stay in a sober house where somebody begs you to come. Not begs, but thoroughly suggests that it's going to possibly benefit my future. And when I say future, I mean life existence.
Yeah.
Because life's cool when you're doing it the right way. When you're just existing, that just involves the things I was doing. Alcoholic and an addict. This is a 217 recovery. I think I can say that, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah. I used to die. I didn't used to live. That was for sure. But, I got out Tuesday. But I left 3 weeks before, after 36 days. It's supposed to say 60 or 90, but I left. I made a decision to leave. To do something that I've never done, leave, do that. So,
yeah.
And I made it back in 2 days. But everybody's like, "Oh, I made it back alive." They always. I'm not welcome at family functions, but I'm welcome at treatment facilities and sober houses. So I got that going for me. You know what I mean?
Fit in with your people, man. Quit trying to leave.
It's just crazy. But. The crazy part about it is what I was doing was crazy, and then this isn't so crazy, Hanging out, hitting meetings, doing things I need to do, the next best decision, I call it, next right decision. Taking a few suggestions from people that have a little more time than me. And, it's been a struggle since I left on Tuesday, but I've also said it to people. I haven't kept it in, But I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm not back in Battle Creek doing what I do. So it's an interesting new ride. I mean, it's not at Cedar Point. It's in Boyne Falls?
Boyne City.
See, I don't even know where I am. I know there's a casino down the road, and that's awesome.
Keep you and Ryan away from that.
Yeah, I mean, I never really went to the casino a lot. Every time I did, I spent a couple dollars in the slot machine and, went out a winner. I wish I had the picture of myself with my ticket that had a black eye that I gave myself the night before. True story. I could tell you about that on another show, if I'm allowed to come back on. I haven't swore yet. Fingers crossed, knock on wood.
Yeah, I think you'll be good.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, we've been wanting you on for a long time, and like you said, it's been a hard road, and you were in and out, and then you went back, and you got out, and you left early, and you went back. But at least you went back, Chris. At least you didn't give up, man.
Right.
And I wanted you to go to the Nathan's house with us and wanted you to go there, but it just wasn't the right time.
No.
And you kept thinking that you were going to get away from me. And Chris, you didn't understand. No. Jesus loves me, man. Like, I pray to him sometimes.
Right.
A lot. And I just tell him, hey, yo, bro, I'm going to need you to get this guy, that guy. And then he makes it happen. And, like, you didn't know any of that was going on, so you didn't really stand a chance. But
no, it's crazy, this whole, when I was in rehab the first few times, this guy was like, it only gets worse. I'll believe that when I try it. It only has. I equate it to the penny that goes around and around and around and around and around jails, institutions, and deaths. I've got the T-shirts for all 3. And, I've had, a few incidences. It's not fun. I mean, you think the time you think it is, but it's not. It's not how it's supposed to be.
No, it's tough. It's sad. And then to come back and face the same people and to see the same people. Like the last time when you came back into treatment, I kind of left you alone because you didn't need to hear it from me. Hey, don't be. You didn't need to hear none of that. That's not what you needed. You just needed time to just do your thing.
And that was the last time after the 2-day expedition. Mm-hmm. Right. That, I didn't want to walk back in those doors, but I had to. Yeah. And I didn't want to walk into that cafeteria dining area because of the shame and the guilt. But everybody there was like, it's good to see you. Hugs, open arms, it's all, it's what it was. I didn't want to be there, but, I know it's where I had to be.
And I thought, when I had heard that you'd left, I was like, well, this last time I'll ever see him, he's going to die.
That's what a lot of people thought.
And I really did it. I really thought that, man. I thought he's done.
And that's, when I left, that was the plan. It wasn't supposed to be the plan. It was, within a day. It wasn't supposed to be a day. It wasn't supposed to be an hour, but it was supposed to be like a week or, a month or a year when it happened, but it was within hours. So, it's what that is.
Yeah.
And the Lions lost today, so that's awesome.
Yeah, did you see how they lost?
No, I didn't watch it. I was trying to
man.
be superstitious and not watch the game.
It was pretty cool. It was like 4th and something goal, and then they went for it, and then they lost.
I deflect on most conversations, so I just had to change something. But yeah, back to that.
Okay.
Back to that whole thing. It's crazy,
Yeah, it really is.
Life
And
on life's terms. I'm scared about that. I fear change. I quote movies a lot, and that's a little bit. I don't know if I can say names of movies. I'm not going to say anything. But that's if we know movies.
Like Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
or
shit.
like,
So, oops. Wayne's World. Yeah, we fear change. I live by mottos of movies. This wedding is horse. I said I can go on forever.
Did you ever
Guys.
see Blazing Saddles?
A few times.
You want to quote that movie a couple times?
No, we can't do that right now.
What do you say? Hey, dock those at the beginning when the train workers were laying down. He was like, hey, dock those.
I think.
What do you call them? I don't know. We'll come back to that
later.
later.
We'll put a post-it on that one too. Blazing Saddles, I don't believe is too PC.
No, they'll never make that movie.
Yeah, that
ever
won't come
again.
back
Anything close to that, unless it's like a Damon Wayans movie, then it's fine.
I'm ready for that one.
Yeah.
Just wanted to go see.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
But
exciting.
yeah, so you, I guess you maybe picked your co-host, but see, some people say I want to do a podcast with you. I'm going to do a podcast, and you give them their own podcast, and then they do one, and then a month later they're like, I'm still I don't know, I'm nervous, and then that's fine. I'm not going to rush anybody or push anybody to do a podcast, but like when I started it, of course I had the radio career, so I know like
a little background. Yeah.
But there's days you don't want to do it.
Right.
There's days I don't want to. Ryan didn't want to do it today, especially because he knew I was going to bust his ass about fantasy football. So
fantasy.
But there's days you just don't feel like doing it. But I set a schedule because I knew if I don't set a schedule, it's not going to happen.
Right.
It'll go 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and then a month goes by. And something that you have to, when you're doing a podcast, and this is for people who are like, I want to start a podcast too. That's fine, do it. But make sure you set a schedule and make sure you follow that and you stick to it, because
schedules are something that I've learned that you need to do. So whether it be a schedule in your podcast or schedule in your life, you need to follow a schedule. Mm-hmm. Get up in the morning, go for a run, doing it. Come back from work at night, do your podcast, doing it.
Yeah.
I just happened to walk out, hear a little conversation, didn't know it was a podcast, kind of mentioned I wanted to get in the podcast. Now, hey, I'm on the podcast. So I got that going for me.
Yeah, I like it.
It's exciting. I would like to hear it because I don't know how I sound on the radio. I'm pretty sure I sound foolish, but, hopefully it gets me to where I need to be, a little further along the line. Yeah. The Bull Ain't Nothing show. It was supposed to be a segment, just like a corner. I'd go in and I'd kind of honk a horn, do a little drum roll or something and say, hey, today's topic is relapse. Because, I was pretty good at that. Well, we all are, though. Well, we were. See, I got to work on how I say things, too, because I'm, again, new to this.
Yeah.
But it works if you work at all those cliches, those things that they say, that are things that I hate hearing. They're there for a reason. They're said for a reason. Mm-hmm. Life on life's terms. It seems so rough. It's snowing outside, I'm pretty sure.
It's cold.
Deflection, again.
Yeah.
That's what my therapist always tells me. I'm good at deflecting.
Yeah. So I think that's what we have in common, man, is we're good at that kind of thing. And
oh, yeah.
Switching it up and getting our way. And
oh, man. I get my way, and it's crazy when I had a therapist tell me, she said, you are just used to everybody doing everything for you. You're used to everybody doing everything for you. You come in and you just said, you're going to do this, you're going to do that, you're going to do this. Well, when I'm driving the bus, I take control. Things go awry. And even when I'm in a facility, I can make things go awry because I want to do it my way. Mm-hmm. So, it's great. It's great. It's not great, but That's what we're used to. I thrive on volatile relationships, chaos, fast life, hustle and bustle, the craziness, the crazies. I'm part of that group, but I'm part of a different group of crazy now.
Yeah.